by the time the next just 30 minutes I go to the chambers, anybody is free to come and get a certified 2 copy of the judgment.
As the court pleases,
When I get to the chambers, the next 30 minutes, it will be signed.
Thank you, my lord. May I invite your lordship's attention to the title of this case. It is Federal Republic of Nigeria versus Nnamdi Kanu.
I'm coming, sir.
Lord, the people, 200 million people of Federal Republic of Nigeria have brought Nnamdi Kanu before this court for acts of terrorism. And my Lord, in the last few weeks or last few days, Nigeria has been a season of victims of victims of terrorism. But my Lord, this afternoon, this honorable court delivered its judgment in which the convict Nnamdi Kanu was found guilty and convicted of offenses under Terrorism Prevention and Prohibition Act. He has accordingly been convicted and it is now to be sentenced. My Lord, the prosecutor has a duty to invite your lordship's attention to a few points that will guide your lordship in the sentencing. My Lord, by the judgment just delivered, this court has again affirmed the long-standing principle that whenever Nigeria as a nation is confronted with moments, actions, and events that pose grave danger to its existence, independence, and unity, the judiciary stands firm at the stabilizing force of the country, guided by the wisdom, courage, and integrity of judges who serve within that arm of government. Terrorism, my Lord, remains one of the gravest threats to humanity. It is among the most devastating of atrocities in human history. As the leader of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, the convict, through his broadcast on Radio Biafra and through the group Armed Wing, the Eastern Security Network repeatedly attacked Nigeria and took active steps to desegregate the country. By the conviction of Nnamdi Kanu for acts of terrorism, it is clear that justice has been served to the thousands of innocent Nigerians who lost their lives as a result of the inciting broadcast and violent activities of Eastern Security Network. Their blood of those who have died cries to heaven, and God in His mercies has given them justice. Justice has honored their cry. The families of more than 75 security officers who were murdered in the service of their fatherland will now find some comfort in this conviction. Those whose relatives were brutally killed and buried with e-console of the order of the convict here have not died in vain because justice has been done. My Lord, the record before this court are replete with the losses suffered by citizens of Nigeria residing in the interstates of the Federation, citizens who through no fault of their own were forced to live in fear, had their businesses destroyed, and were reduced to paupers as a result of stay-at-home orders issued by the convict and violently enforced by the commanders of ESN. Justice has today set them free from oppression and economic strangulation caused by the terrorist activities of the convict. The convict now knows that the law is greater than any individual. Therefore, justice has been done to him too. and that Nigeria has both the power and the capacity to punish anyone who, through deliberate, reckless acts of terrorism, seeks to divide the country by attempting to create the so-called Republic of Biafra by force out of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. My Lord, consequent upon the conviction, as nothing further remains but the lawful imposition of sentence, the punishment prescribed for the offenses in counts 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6 is death penalty. Pursuant to Section 1(2)(h) of the Terrorism Prevention Amendment Act 2013, my Lord, with all sense of humility, I say, sir, as a prosecutor, that this court has no discretion in that regard, and that the only sentence that your Lordship will impose for counts 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6 is death sentence.